I thought I'd put together a quick video using ChatGPT 5, the new version, to test the QPRC staff's responses to resident concerns about damaged and dangerous roads. I've got two examples here. One is a recent one. One was one from a few years ago that I received. Now, what I'm going to do here, if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, you can ask it anything. So what I'm going to ask it is I'm going to say a resident in the QPRC municipality. Fix my typo. Emailed staff asking them to rectify dangerous road conditions on a road council say is category 10. I will attach the response, but I would like to know how the response reflects this looking over your shoulder thing, reflects existing council policy. Okay, so I'm going to copy over the response that was received. The response reads, now I've copied this in verbatim. What I have done is I've redacted the road name, and I haven't included the staff member. So let's ask ChatGPT for its opinion here. Okay, based on the wording of that QPRC staff response, here's how it ties into and reflects the existing policy. So what it's done is it's cited the existing policy, and it's gone down what's missing. While the response reflects policy faithfully, it omits certain important policy elements that could be relevant in a dangerous road scenario. Defect reporting safety intervention. Many road maintenance policies, including QPRC, still require council to respond to known safety hazards even on unmaintained roads, sometimes through hazard mitigation rather than full maintenance. Emergency works provisions. Policies often include discretion for temporary works to address urgent hazards. The email doesn't mention if the discretion exists in QPRC's policies, statutory duties. Under the Roads Act 1993 and Civil Liabilities Act 2002, the Council may still have obligations if it has knowledge of a defect that possesses a foreseeable risk regardless of category. And it's offering to write an email in response. Now, I helped that resident respond, and we did it in the form of a complaint to council, and council just dismissed the complaint. They just said there was no cause for complaint. Now, what the staff are doing here is they're saying we don't maintain the road, but they're completely ignoring the fact that, you know, dangerous road conditions were reported. Now, they might not be dangerous, but council had an obligation to at least come and have a look. So let's ask that. If the resident flagged existing dangerous road conditions, and this was the only response, with no attempt to confirm the road conditions, the actual, I'm actually a better typer than this, but when you're recording conditions. Is this response sound and given a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a good response, how would you grade the professionalism of the response? Now, this was from a senior staff member, so you would expect a good degree of further. What legal problems could this response create for council down the road? Okay, let's see what it says. If a resident specifically flagged existing dangerous road conditions and this email was the only response without any attempt to confirm the hazard, then from both a professional and legal perspective, the reply has some serious shortcomings. Soundness of response, it explains why it's unsound. Council policy might state no maintenance for Category 10 roads, but that doesn't mean zero duty to investigate reported hazards. Under the Civil Liabilities Act, particular sections dealing with foreseeable risk and actual knowledge, once council is informed of a specific hazard, it at least is at least required to assess whether it poses an unreasonable risk or harm. Ignoring the factual claim the road is dangerous and only citing category status suggests council is applying policy as a blanket shield without assessing the actual risk. This approach is exactly what has failed in the past, in past New South Wales Council liability cases. Okay, professionalism rating. If we rate on a scale of 1 to 10 for professionalism, considering clarity, completeness, and risk awareness, it's given a rating of 3 out of 10. Now, this is a senior manager, and this is a well-rehearsed response. This isn't the first person to ask this question. People ask this question all the time. So they're saying the pros, it's a polite tone and it's well structured. The cons, no acknowledgement of the hazard beyond the policy citation, no indication that staff will verify or inspect, no mention of any temporary mitigation or alternative reporting process, reads more like a policy refusal template than an actual response to a safety report. Now, how does this affect council in litigation? And keeping in mind, when council lose litigation, we all pay for this. So they had actual knowledge of the hazard. There was a failure to inspect. There was a policy misapplication, and there was a reputational and government risk. Now it comes down and sums things up. The ChatGPT is just such an amazing product. This was a policy-only answer to what was essentially a safety report. Professionally, it fails far short because it doesn't acknowledge, check, or address the hazard. Legally, it risks giving plaintiffs a smoking gun showing council had actual knowledge and did nothing. Now, I can cite plenty of responses that are just like this. This is a clear pattern. This isn't just an isolated mistake with a new clueless employee. This is what all council employees are told to say. It comes from the help desk, it comes from the CEO, it comes from everybody. This is the policy. In fact, when I've challenged this with one senior council employee, who I think was the acting CEO at the time, I was told that if I spoke to councillors about this, they've been told basically to tell me exactly what staff are telling me. So this denied me access to, my own councillors. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask ChatGPT, can you please write what you would consider a 10 out of 10 response on the presumption that the resident contacted council reporting serious road dangers. Can you please write what you would consider 10 out of 10 response? Why is it saying responses? On the presumption that the resident contacted the council reporting serious road dangers. Okay, let's ask it. Let's see how it would do it. Here's how I'd draft what I'd consider a 10 out of 10 response. Dear resident, thank you for contacting us regarding the condition of this road. We take reports of potential safety hazards seriously and appreciate you bringing this matter to our attention. I understand from your email that you believe there are serious defects on the road. While the road is currently classified Category 10 under Council's road hierarchy and is therefore not subject to regular maintenance, Council policy does allow for investigation and potential mitigation where the reported condition poses a significant safety risk. I have logged your report in our system under the reference number and have requested that our roads team arrange an inspection to assess the hazard you've described. This inspection will help determine the nature and extent of the hazard, blah, 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 right? Now, why are we paying these people hundreds of thousands of dollars to do a job that ChatGPT can do for nothing? The people on the service desk could use ChatGPT to respond in a way that protects council, and then council can go out, take some photos of the road and make a call over whether or not it's dangerous enough to fix. It's 2025. We have computers that can do jobs better than humans. I think the council staff really need to lift their game because they're just asking to be replaced by artificial intelligence. They're not even trying. Now, council has a really bad policy in place. You can ask ChatGPT to rewrite that policy. I've asked it. It's written a great policy. Now, what do? We have council staff, another council employee who's being paid, a lot of money to write these policies. There's probably multiple staff. And I can just say, ChatGPT, write a better policy than QPRC. So let's ask it while I'm here. I might have, okay, you've hit your free plan limit, so maybe I'll make another video about that. So have a great day. I hope this video helps you.